Today I will be reviewing Guns Up for the PlayStation 4. I will see how it holds up, how it looks. Is the gameplay fun, or is it pay to win? And let's see how it looks. The presentation in Guns Up is generally appealing. Bullets look like lightning bolts, grenades go extremely beautifully, and they explode units that go flying around all over the place like ragdoll corpses. This is because they are. Well, they're shot by rockets, grenades, or even shushed by a riot shield with their silencer gun, or puff gun. Your guess? I don't actually really know. The game can take a lot of beatings with bases, lots of bunkers, bullets, explosions going on, so the frame rate never usually drops. The game looks visually appealing with its art style. It looks nice, clean. The menu screen is generally really good. It makes me not think that, the game was made in 5 seconds. Also, I really like the fact how the bases are displayed. They're displayed like territory, where you can see how many skulls they have, who's defending, and you can also see attack cards and defense cards and perks. If you like the perks and attack cards, generally explain themselves without you having to read the text, but the text adds that kind of Dark Souls-esque description for all the units and characters. The audio is really well done. I found the music really fitting for a war aesthetic where carpet bombing is all happening all at the same time. Music is done pretty well, especially the calm bass music when you're building up your base. And, units are very well stylized. They don't look like they've been made generic stock models. They have details. They look shaded so you can distinguish them from the background. And yours and even enemy units will either have different hats, which aren't cosmetic, to give you a little boost, or you can see them through trees and objects, mountains. I also like how the transport truck, which we'll get into later, drives through trees, and sometimes if it runs into an object, it'll destroy it. That's just a neat detail whenever you see it. But that's more on the gameplay side, and I'll get to just that in a second. Now, the gameplay is all about strategy and thinking of how you should use your commander cards. Because just releasing a whole squad of grunts or riots or grenadiers or medics just won't cut the base, because they'll have attack cards, different types of units all guarding it. The people don't just get ready to just sit there. So you have to think about how you're going to attack. You have to think about the attack cards. That's why, one, picking your base, reviewing them. You can also see how many bunkers, tents, and who is being defended, spawned, or who are spawning. You can also, when it comes to the gameplay, you have to spawn sets of units. Those sets of units go outside the transport truck. Now, your transport truck, that is where your units come from, and it does have some self-defense measures, but however, if the units get there, even the transport truck is a little stupid, because sometimes it'll just stand still there when a grunt is firing out of its range, and that grunt could kill you if you don't have enough munchkins, or as I like to call them, munchkins. Now, munchkins are your way of spawning units. You regenerate some of them over time, and you mostly gain them from destroying structures like bunkers, sniper towers, tents. You also have to reach the enemy outpost, and then you destroy it, and that's how you win. You have to think about how you use your item, like relay flags, focus fires. You can't just focus fire the end of the base and expect everyone to destroy it. You also can't run out with just not using any relay flags and, sending a squad, like I said. When you're building your base, that's the second part of gameplay, you have to think about every unit, because you can make your base extremely weak to flamers, but then you have to worry about every other unit. Or you can make your base extremely strong against, assault squads, grunts, rangers, there's grenadiers, riots, but you're not ready for a medic or surgeon to come out. You can also, your base is just grunts only, and you're not ready to take on a flamer. Examples. You also have to think about how your enemy will use focus fires and their movement. The structures have a vision, which they can only see from, and if those structures are out of your vision, the enemy could theoretically be moved behind your structure, and it could be shot down. So you have to also think about your structures and how much damage are they taking. So that's why you have various types of units you can spawn from tents. The tents spawn units. varying from different types. You got engineers, you got grunts, you got assault squads, or assaults as they're called. Well, you got riot shields, grenadiers, medics, colonels, commandos, machine gunners, and so on and so forth. You can also decorize your units with perks that give your units bonuses. You can also give them light hats, but they give you very little bonuses, like 1% extra accuracy, or maybe 2% extra damage. They're very light-hearted and don't change much gameplay. You can play with the default hats and you won't feel much of a difference. But, however, you do have to worry about the perks, because without perks, examples like Flamer won't do much damage. So you have to equip perks. Before I equipped perks, bunkers were an absolute nightmare. But after you equip perks, those said bunkers stop being such much of a threat. Because, well, those bunkers are now being smashed by units who have steady or extra health. And also you have to worry about, like I said, the various types of units. Not only that, you can strategize by putting examples in mortars. And the game's not very pay to win. You have to grind a lot, but it's worth it seeing how your base starts to evolve. Going from thinking that barbed wire is the best, starting to think that bunkers are good, to then becoming a mixture of both, and starting to utilize walls. It's a good thing. The game starts to look extremely good. However, there has been situations with some people cheating on PC, as I've heard. I can't tell that because I'm on PS4. But from what I've heard, there are a lot of cheaters who use a glitch to spawn a bunch of outposts. I don't do that because I don't think that's possible on PS4. But yeah, the controls on PS4 are extremely simple. Right analog stick move camera, or left analog stick pick option. On your outpost, you can also spawn various types of command cards, and those command cards are technically going to help you a lot. You have HQ squads, which spawns various levels of units. Now you've also got stuff like Last Stand, which spawn a said unit. Example, Last Stand Bombardier, which means after the people have gone close enough to your outpost, so your outpost starts shooting at them, you will start to spawn a said unit. Like I said, Bombardiers. Last Stands can also be assault squads. You also have various types of specials for command cards. Examples are paratroopers, which at the end of your enemy line, will draw some paratroopers that, they'll take out some enemies. They don't kill all of the enemies, however. They manually do some damage. If the enemy is uncareful, they might actually shoot the transport truck a lot. But I found out attacking, your main goal whilst defending is try to make your enemy outlast or spend most of their monetins, or make them spend all their money. Your units will definitely change the enemy's attack, however, you have to worry about your enemy's monetins, because if your enemy runs out of monetins, then it's practically game end for them, as with low monetins, mostly you can only spawn grunts. Some people don't even use grunts in most cases. Most people will use stuff like examples, like assault squads, ignore grunts most of the time. They mostly use them for just scouting the base out, which is one thing that I do recommend. Spawn at least like 5 grunts to see the base before you attack, because if you don't, you'll end up sending a bunch of rangers when there's a bunch of flamers, which isn't the best situation to be in. And so you have to worry about how much you attack and how much. And I think the pay-to-win elements aren't here at all. The game has a ranking system, which aside from in alliances, sort of ridiculous. First thing to say is Guns Up is not pay-to-win. It is completely fine, and you won't experience any pay-to-win gimmicks here. Second of all, the game is extremely fun and good once you get the hang of it. And you also have to focus on strategy. You can't go, it's a nice mix of strategy and action. Overall, I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. Main problems are bugs and glitches appear rarely, but you see them sometimes. And sometimes the grind can become a little annoying, or the alliance you're in is just not too good, and you get attacked by super high alliance. Overall, 8 out of 10, like I said. Have a good day. Goodbye.